hitting record.
All right, and we're back, episode 11 on Let's Talk Elevated. How's everybody feeling today?
I'm good. It's been a long day. I was a little tired. I was going to take a nap before I got here, but I didn't do it. But I'm going to stay motivated until my day is over. How about you?
I'm here. I'm present. I'm glad to be here. No complaints this way. How you feeling, Rissa?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not as tired as I think I normally would be, so I've been getting some rest, so I'm feeling pretty good, in high spirits, trying to stay in high spirits.
Amy.
Mercury goes retrograde tomorrow.
That gets a go. Look, so I am trying to stay in high spirits.
Feeling like the pre-cum of the Mercury retrograde.
Absolutely.
So be slow to communicate, guys. Be slow to communicate. Take your time. Look and see what is going to affect you. And if you don't know how to do that, then get somebody to do it. Or look the shit up on YouTube or whatever you got to do to figure that shit out. Because these things are very, very beneficial. Why would you want to walk around with things that can enlighten you or kind of give you a heads up and not use them? Especially during what could be a difficult time. So look into it. That's all I'm saying. Just a suggestion. You know. Holla at your girl.
Me and Nate was just talking about that on the way over here. I was like, dang, we about to get a new moon and it's gonna be a retrograde kind of starting at the same time. So it's like, yeah, it's just like, just thinking about it, it's just like, that's a lot going on right there. It's a lot going on.
I feel like I've personally been in a retrograde, so I feel like with the Mercury retrograde, hopefully I come out. Like, if everybody else goes in,
and we have the solar eclipses too, so
I'm coming out.
You just have to be prepared for things. Don't look at them as like, oh God, oh God, oh God, but just be like, all right, what the fuck that mean for me? What I need to do? Like, absolutely. That's how I be trying to look at that shit, cause, honey, I be feeling the feels for sure. I definitely feel the feels.
Feeling them waves,
as a Cancer, I feel the feels.
And you cannot let everything in the world or just it's not within your body and your person to get to you. So you be having to pick and choose which things you're gonna let like sway your energy. Maybe
that's hard to do, cause it's like sometimes something can happen so small and you like, do I want to, speak my piece and speak how I feel, or do I just, let it go? Even though it might be something small to, to the outside, it might be big to me. So, sometimes I'm going to say it anyway, just, but sometimes, like you said, it's just to pick and choose. It's just really deciding, is it worth it to you? And if it's worth it, if it don't care if it's small to you, if it's worth it to me, then I should be able to speak up on it,
I agree with that, definitely.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to get into today's topic for today. And we're going to be talking about, and it's so cliche just to say it, baby mamas and baby daddies. It's just like, when you say it, it's make my face stink. Like when I just, But
it's I think topic.
Yeah, but I do think it's a good topic because I feel like the people that you do choose to have children with, you do have to commit. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it is beneficial to have some type of form of communication with the other parent for the betterment of the child. It took me a while to say that because I really had to think on that because I struggle with that because I'm like, sometimes that communication is not the betterment for the child because it be toxic as shit. So it's like, it's not really helping the child if we can't even come to an agreement to help him. So sometimes the communication be tainted. I feel like for me personally, it be tainted because it's like, I can't even communicate with you to even get to a common ground. So how can we even do that? And that comes with, respect. And I will be honest, I don't always be showing the best respect. I don't, because I feel like I do a lot. And I feel like sometimes that gets overshadowed by the fact that, just because he's dad, that's that. Like,
and that's how that's
yeah, it's like just because he's dad. And that's like,
That's how that's gonna be.
but mom over here, I mean, yeah, mom is mom, but mom over here really the one that be like, making that shit happen. So it's like,
I feel that wholeheartedly. I definitely feel that I've experienced both sides of being a baby mama, and also like now I'm married to my youngest son's father. So it's very, very, it's like a completely different world. And it's something that I definitely had to get used to, because I come from a world of not really having communication, not because it's my choice, but because the other party doesn't really want to communicate. And so I don't force communication. I was taught from a very young age to like completely take my ego out of parenting. My mother taught me that. My grandmother taught me that as I got older. By her example, she did not teach me that. She was very much so a baby mama, like, nah, you ain't coming to see these kids.
That's what I said. That was definitely
you ain't
my mom.
doing shit. I'm taking care of them. But when I got older and I had my children, my grandmother was like, do not do that to him. And if he decides that he doesn't want to be the dad he's supposed to be, do not let that dictate you and like how you operate, how you parent, how you do this. Is it going to be hard for you to maintain that? Yes, because ego gets in the way every single day. And ego wants you to be recognized. Ego is not always wrong. It's not saying that because your ego is coming up that you shouldn't be recognized. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what type of dad he is. I'm going to be the best fucking mom in the world to my kids. Right. So it doesn't matter to me what he does. Now, what I want him to be, a great father, for us to be able to communicate, have all these things, absolutely, for the sake of my son, I absolutely would love that. But my son isn't lacking anything. My son is well taken care of. And he's in the position to even have a father figure in his life every single day that's there to help him. And I had to really, really get it together when not even when I got with my husband, when me and him had our child and like got back together, because it was some shit going on. We had our baby, and then we had our little separation, whatever. But when we got back together and we had to parent together, I never did that in my whole entire life. I've never done that before. Very hard, because I'm used to always having my way. I'm used to always being the one that called the shots. I don't have to consult with anybody. I don't have to do none of that. And I think that that's where mothers get fucked up at, is sometimes mothers of children want to tell the father how to be a father, and he has to do it your way, and he has to do this, and he has to do that. And it's like, no, sis, you gotta let him be a father how he needs to be a father. Like, even if it's not how you see fit, as long as the child is not being harmed, like, you gotta let him do his thing. You can't tell him when he picks up his kid, oh, you gotta do this and you gotta do that, and you let him pick up his child, and you let his child have an organic experience with their father. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we as women can lose sight of that part of it, and that's what can fuck us up on, because we're going to protect our kids. So it's not saying that we want you to do it our way because we're right. It's that I want you to do it this way because maybe I know this way works. Or maybe I know my child is going to like this way. Or whoa. But the father can introduce your child to something new. So maybe your child is going to like it their way too. You don't know until they try. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we have to give them the time and the ability to try. A lot of women don't do that. And I really was talking, my dad was in jail my whole life. My mama, I always had a relationship with my daddy. My mom was taking me down there to the jail to see him. And people might not agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I remember at a very young age, as far as I can remember back, seeing my daddy behind bars. And it did not traumatize me. I'm just being honest. I was not traumatized or anything by that. But I always knew who my dad was. I always had a relationship with him. My mom never threw any of that shit in my face. She never was like, fuck your daddy, then again in jail, he don't do shit for you, blah, 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 blah. You know who said that to me? I said that to myself when I got older, because I figured that out my own self. Nobody had to tell me that. I knew that my family was here and my daddy wasn't. So let your kids get older so that they can see for themselves. Because when you try to drill it in their head, then the memory is going to be, my mama told me that. It kind of bypasses, the acts of the dad. Yeah, the dad might have proved it right, but your mama the one that told you that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to stop doing that, especially as mothers, and really, really give these men opportunities to be fathers. And if they don't want to be a father, guess what, sis? Keep it fucking moving. Because it's a nigga out there that's going to fucking be a father to your kid. If he truly loves you, he will do that. It's a man, it's somebody out there that will help your child, whether they're with you or not. It could be a program out there that can help your child. Like, don't think that it's the end of the world because he don't want to be a dad. And let him come to whatever terms he got to come to. And guess what? Karma gonna always eat his ass up. So don't ever worry about getting your lick back or getting any type of revenge. Though his life will get revenge on him. Don't ever worry about that. And I mean, and I know that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I know that to be true.
I'm over here like that. Mm-hmm.
I know that to be true. I'm sorry. I've been rambling for a while. Y'all talk
that shit on.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that you said that because, and it wasn't until I decided that I was going to be the best mother that I was going to be, because before I had to make that decision. I did, because I wasn't making that decision at first. My feelings was hurt. Feelings was hurt. I was in my feelings. I done had this baby and I'm over here struggling, and you just, you living your best life, and I'm just like, this was not
part of the plan.
This is not what we was talking about. Like this. I'm doing what I gotta do, but at the same time, I'm sitting there like, and then I was bitter too. I was so bitter, and I was just like, because I was not letting go of the idea that this is what we said we was gonna do. So this is what we gonna do. Not even really realizing that the course changes all the time. So this is just a change in the course. So the course is still you still going there, but the course has changed. So now what we gonna do? So I didn't know that then. So of course I'm over there bickering, fighting. I'm fighting baby mamas. I'm fighting girlfriend. I'm doing everything, and I'm just like, because I'm so angry. And the person that I'm really angry at, I'm angry at him. But I was so angry at myself because I'm like, how the fuck did you? How did you not miss this again? Yeah, and that's how I was like,
I feel you.
Like, wait a minute, hold on, it wasn't really until I was like, girl, you wasn't thinking, like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, what? Like, don't get me wrong, my children are a blessing. I love my boys, but I was like, girl, you didn't think this one through at all. You just really went on and it's like, we get so codependent on other people and their words and what they do. And at that time, I was solely codependent. So I'm just not only that, I'm also, he's paying for everything. He's doing everything. So I'm putting all my eggs in this one basket. And honey, the basket had so many damn holes in it. I didn't know that I was losing the eggs. So I'm like, I didn't know where the eggs was going. I had holes in the basket. So it's just like really learning. And now that we do have this child, it's like, okay, so now we got to figure something out. And if we can't come to a common ground, like T said, I can't taint that relationship. It don't matter what he put me through, what he did to me. In my son's eyes, he the fucking world. And then I can't touch that, and I don't want to, because in his eyes, I'm mom. So I'm like, he can't touch that. So I'm like, it's things that he'll wait until he come back home so mom can do it, because mom's gonna do it exactly how I'll take that. I'm appreciative of that, and I'm also appreciative when he says, when I'll be like, hey, you going to your dad's this weekend? Yeah, he jumps up, I'm going. Regardless of what we going through, we can just have some words going back and forth. It don't give nothing. And I had to really shape him as well, because it made him be like, I don't care what you say. If you call me and be like, hey, I'm about to come pick him, come get him. I can't come get him. Make sure when you bring him back, you say if he ain't ate, let me know so I can if you bring him back around dinner time, let me know so I can fix him a plate or whatever. I can't take that. Just don't say nothing to me. Like, we just won't say nothing to each other. We just won't. We won't say anything until once he calm down or I calm down. And I'm like, well, that didn't work that way. I might have to speak on something. I'm like, that didn't work in this way. So I'm like, maybe it come that out, maybe Corbin will say something about it. Because that's what I'm like, that's what a lot of the issues that that Corbin has, he comes out verbally and starting to say those. And I appreciate that, because I'm like, good, because I don't have to say them. Because I'm like, you start telling him how you feel, because if you tell him, because he gonna think I'm lying if I say it. Just because it's me.
Yes.
Just because it's me. I'm baby mama. He gonna think I'm lying. But I'm not. So it's just really trying to get past, we still got to do this at the end of the day. Like, once I got over that hurdle, it made it a whole lot easier. He'd be calling me all types of bitches and hoes, and I'd be like, all right, now, I'll holler at you. Just call me back when you get yourself together. Like, now, any other time, he'd be every broke-ass nigga, you can't do this. And I'm like, honey, you mad? I don't know who you mad at. You not mad at me. I ain't did nothing to you. You're not mad at me. Girl. So now that I know that, it makes it a lot easier when he get like that. I'm like, all right, then I'll just holler at you. I turn my phone. I slide that on, put that do not disturb. You won't disturb my peace. I'm not about to deal with that. Holler at me. And then like a week later, like just last week, he cussed me out. And then Friday came, it was his weekend. I'm about to come. All right now. When he came, got out. As soon as all I said to him was, I just didn't appreciate how you was speaking to me. I said, because all I was doing was just trying to express to you how I was feeling about when it came to him. That's it. And I just looked at him, said that, and all right, Corbin, I see you on Sunday, and went on by my day. I said what I had to say, made my peace with it, and keep on going. He had to take that and be a grown-up and just be like, okay, so it don't affect nothing that we got going on right here with the transition of you getting your child, but we just got to have a respect. And I got to have that too. So I'm like, if I'm requesting that of you, I got to be mindful of what I'm saying too, because sometimes I'm trying to tell you.
It's hard.
Be ready to lay that nigga out. Flats.
And then you can start back.
Yes, man.
It's saving, so I can. You ready?
Yep. I feel like literally being like the person with no kids. I've seen things from both spectrums because most of my friends have kids, so I've heard like situations they could go through with their baby daddy, and then like now my boyfriend, we've been together almost 3 years, he has a daughter, and then situations before that, even when I've dated, like some of the people I've dated had kids, and most of the time, even if I didn't end up in a relationship with the nigga, just me being a person that he talked to caused the situation, and I don't like stuff like that. But even before I get to the dating aspect of how I think the impact is, I'm gonna talk about the friends. Before actually being with like a man and seeing his parenting style and ways that dads do try to show up and not be deadbeats because of like conflict, I always naturally agree with whatever my friends said about their baby daddies. Not even realizing that some of this shit is literally just emotion. Trauma. Because I don't know what goes on the other side of that conversation. It took me like really judging several different men for years and being involved in stuff that I should have kept my 2 cents out of. And one of my old friends, me and her not friends no more, but me and her baby daddy have always had this mutual respect. And since me and her have stopped being friends, he approached me one day and he was like, Nay, I want to let you know that I've always respected you, because no matter what me and her used to get into back then, you either stayed out of it or you told us when we were wrong. And I'm like, respect, because it was never about you. It was never about her. It was always about the kid. So that made me feel good, because there's been plenty of my friends that they get to talking about this and that with their baby daddy. And I'm like, well, fuck him. Fuck that girl. You got this. And I shouldn't even be that type of energy. Knowing my mama was like your mama. My mama, I knew all three of my daddies. Period. Had a relationship with all three of my daddies. Oh my gosh. So, like, I feel bad to even, I'm apologizing now to those men and those friends for me even being that energy, because you don't know, I don't know how the fuck Marissa and T respond to the parents of their children, what they don't tell me. Right. I know what y'all telling me he said, but I'm sure it's times that them mouths that spit fire and y'all didn't share that. Y'all if I'm being quite honest, y'all are like the whole house down group of friends that I've ever hung with that didn't just baby daddy bash. And even when we were heavy in Sands, you used to say all types of things about how your son's father was not present, but you didn't just bash him. You still always looked at the beauty in things and talked about the lessons your son was going to learn. When certain times come around the year and his father is more present for those moments, I've never seen you dock him from that.
Never.
T was motivation.
I would never do that.
Because T helped me, like, seeing her be just, just not even that. It's her being gentle, which let me know that she was gentle with herself. So it was like seeing her be like that when she was on lives. It was very helpful because, honey,
it helped you get to where you...
Yeah, it helped me get to where I... Yeah, because I was not right there.
And ever since he's been home, I didn't know your relationship with him before he came home.
Right.
Ever since he's been home, the stuff that T was saying has literally been basically a reflection of what you... Even on the worst times, you just fell back from him. Yeah. Y'all done got into it, but y'all done made it work over and over. Yeah. We tell you all the time how proud we are at the journey that y'all have made co-parenting. Because even when it don't feel good, it's looking better.
Yeah,
the kid doing better. The kid doing better.
That's what matters. And that's why I said I cannot take that from him because it lights him up. So it like to see. I'm like,
do you realize how much he has opened up and changed since his daddy has been?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and then
he was in his shell.
Like the key to his life.
Yes, he was in his shell.
Only Kenny had the door to that, and I try to explain things like that to my oldest son's dad. That only you have the keys to certain things about Major. Like, I'm his mom, and I am the one who gave him life, and so many people love him. But there are certain things about him that only you have the key to unlocking him. And I just hope one day that he sees fit somewhere to try to get into those doors and try to unlock those doors within his son.
Right.
Because I'm here for it. I've never been against any relationship that he wanted, whether it was temporary, whether it was for a month, whether it wasn't. And I know people might judge that too because, you're like, I ain't gonna have my child. You don't want to be my child. Like, you don't want to do this. But it's like, look, I am raising a fucking strong, fucking amazing kid. He can fucking handle it, believe me. And if he couldn't handle something, I wouldn't put him through it. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But he has to understand that this is just how some things go because that's life in general. And I appreciate you saying what you said and saying that I was gentle with myself because I absolutely was. When I started to forgive myself for what I felt like mistakes I made, I stopped blaming myself for my son not having a daddy. Stop blaming myself for fucking around and getting pregnant at 20 and thinking that this nigga was really about to help me with this baby. And soon as his other chick find out, then now it ain't his baby and all of this shit. All the shit that I really went through that I didn't have to go through, right? I stopped blaming myself for that because in it all, look at what I got. And Major is the most amazing thing I could have ever gotten. He changed me in so many ways. He motivated me in so many ways. He made me truly grow up and go hard. And I wouldn't even be where I was. I wouldn't have a college degree. I wouldn't be having all these years in customer service and call center experience and all of this shit all the information that I even had. Half of it I wouldn't even probably even wanted to inspire to do if it wasn't for my son. So I'm thankful for that aspect of it. And I'm not going to keep looking at, oh God, I done had a baby and I'm another statistic and I'm a single parent and I'm this and this nigga living his life and he doing that. But you want to know what I also didn't do? I didn't fuck around and do it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And that's what bitches gotta stop. Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to call y'all bitches.
She was in that moment, girl.
But see, that's where my patience or my sympathy for women, it dwindles out. When you start doing that shit over and over and over again, sis, you gotta start asking yourself, what is it about me that keeps causing this situation to happen in my life? Not keeps causing you to be a single parent, but why do you keep choosing these situations to be in? Because there's something going on here, okay, that you ain't dealing with that's making you run in a cycle like a fucking hamster. And that's nobody's fault but your own. And that sounds kind of harsh, but that's real because you are in control of your reality and you don't have to put yourself over and over in positions that you don't want to be in.
Because the answers are within.
My daddy said, out of all 6 of his baby mamas, my daddy got 6 kids, he got 6 baby mamas. He said, my mama has always been his favorite baby mama. And it kind of smacked me different because we didn't interact with him that much. I told y'all my situation on the episode before. So when we talked more about it, he explained to me your mama didn't threaten me. Your mama didn't do this to me. Your mama didn't do that to me. I was so used to women doing this to me that it made it easier for me to just interact with your mama. when shit really hit the fan in my life, I was grown. Like, I didn't act out as a child. I had little smart mouth stuff like that. But other than that, I was in sports. I was a straight A student. I was just way into boys. Other than that, I tripped out when I was grown. My mom and my daddy got the same restaurant. I never in a million years knew that they were spending some of their random ass times when they would both be at that restaurant still co-parenting me behind my grown ass back. And I would talk to one of them. They'd be like, oh, your mama said this. Oh, your daddy said that. And as an adult, that like shifted some shit. Because I'm like, wow, if my mama bold enough to go tell my daddy this about me, she don't give a fuck now. She think I don't give a fuck, but she don't give a fuck. I need to get my shit together. Because it's one thing for your mama to know something, but let your daddy come to you about some shit that you was trying not for your daddy to know. Like, what? Pause. Like, as a grown-up, I'm saying this. I love my parents to death. I fully respect them, so I get it. And then, just as a female, like, not having kids, even if I had kids and I had to deal with certain situations, I just know it wouldn't be for me. Like, most...
They've been in jail. We had to bail out. We were like, we saw it this week. Nate's not here. She done knocked her baby daddy out. She did not. We gonna bail her out right after this episode.
It's not. Maybe that's why I haven't had kids yet, because God wants me to be right, like, in the head, in the mind, in the heart. But I also don't understand, like, why it is when baby mamas have such conflict with the dad sometimes, they turn it into a thing for the girlfriend when the girlfriend, like, stays out of it. And I say this from experience because a lot of shit happens and I just be minding my business. I don't go talk about it on social media. I don't go confide in my friend in it. I listen to whatever the fuck me and him talking about, and then it just goes on. But I feel like a lot of times girlfriends get attacked, whether it's like on the internet.
Wives get attacked too.
Yes, like whether it's on the internet, whether it's verbal through child, whether it's like you trying to fight over some shit. Like, you say you over this situation. Yeah, I've never done anything to your child in a negative manner.
I'm not over it.
It shouldn't be a problem.
But I'm not over it. And I can't get over the fact that
coming from the baby mama who was fighting the girlfriend.
That's what I say from experience. I'm not over this. I can't get over the fact that he over here hunching and grunching and he done already moved on and he's doing this, and I got this child right here, and this child, every time I look at this child, I am reminded every single day that you taking care of this child by yourself while he get to live his best life. Ain't nobody living their best life. I'm gonna fuck you up and I'm gonna fuck her up. Like, it's that. I mean, I'm just saying.
She said nobody's living their best life. I ain't living mine. And that is truly a choice, because you ain't living your best life because you don't want to. You want to stay where you at. You want to stay mad, so you have a reason to not like this nigga, instead of moving on with your fucking life and doing whatever the fuck you got to do to make you and your kids happy. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to stay right here where you are, and that's why you're stuck in mud and you keep being stuck. It gets harder and harder to get out of those spaces once you keep digging yourself deeper and deeper in them. So sometimes, and we gotta understand, a lot of this shit be generational too, because people come from cycles and cycles and cycles of women who have told them, you don't need no daddy, that child don't need no daddy, put his ass on child support, fuck that nigga, blah, 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 blah. And that is absolutely not true. A child needs their parents. Both of them.
And what's crazy with that shit is, if you give a man a chance and just let him do him like you said, most of the time he will show you that he can do it and he could be a good daddy on his own, even if he is not the best to your description. And then the same breath as a girlfriend, when the girlfriend is there and like actually present and not just with the man for whatever gains, but when the girlfriend is in the situation to be there, whatever energy that the girl is pouring into that man, she is also pouring into his children. Like, I would be a fucked up person at heart to not give my boyfriend's daughter all the love and affection and attention that I have, because you're present, you're here. We think about you even when you're not here. So I can't see me being fucked up to nobody's kids. Even when I'm fucking at work pissed off because y'all ain't listening all day. And I done talked up to here today. I'm not just going to treat y'all bad. I will raise my voice and then turn around and apologize to these children. I yelled at y'all because. But they always know why. And then we talk about it. I don't even do that to my boyfriend's daughter. Like, I've never raised my voice to her. Like, certain things. So don't project negative energy into situations and shit if you don't really know what's going on. girlfriend to baby mama, if ever you truly want to talk about it. And I'm not just saying this for my situation. Because bitches be feeling too proud to feel like we can't communicate with each other.
Right.
But if ever you really want to talk about it with that girl, talk to her.
Talk about it.
It's that easy. As easy it is to get on social media or to tell the next motherfucker. If you really want to get to the bottom of something, if you want to talk about what goes on with your child, if you want to talk about rules and boundaries and expectations between the girlfriend and the child or whatever, communicate that.
Yes.
So I can know. But
so boundaries are made and clear.
And use your words and not your hands. That was for me. Use your words and not your hands. I'm telling.
And just because you the baby mama don't mean you finna whoop nobody ass.
Right. And that's why I said
you might think you about to whoop somebody's ass and fuck around and
I learned my lesson though, sis. I did learn my lesson because I'm dealing with it now. Like my, my youngest dad, both of my kids' dads, they both have girlfriends. I don't have not one extension problem. We gotta respect things. As long as my child is okay,
right?
I'm good with it. Now, the moment that they say they're not okay,
then that's when we have a problem. Exactly. But if the child is happy, you know what? Sometimes that is what pisses some moms off even more. Is that the child is happy there. The child likes it here, and that to me is just a little bit of like insecurity. Okay, it's like not feeling secure. And there's no reason for any mother of any child, I don't care if you got your child, you don't got your child, your grandma take care of your kids, whatever the case may be. Now, this person might be very important to them, the person who's caring for them, but nobody could ever take a child's mother's place. And nobody could ever take a child's father's place. Absolutely. So don't ever think that because your child is going over here with their stepmom, that she's over there trying to take your place. Because 9 times out of 10, she's just trying to take care of your baby. Like, that's what you should want. You should want your child to go with someone who's going to take care of your child like you would, better than you would, at least like you would. You get what I'm saying? So if your child is happy with that, there should be nothing in you that should have any issues with that. Right. And if it is, then you need to do some self-work and you need to just look inside of yourself and write it down. You don't have to tell a soul. Just write it down and get it out. You don't have to tell anybody. But we have to do better as women. Fathers have to do better. I'm not saying that they don't. They abso-fucking-lutely the fuck do. Okay? But just like we have taught these kids, we gotta also sometimes help steer some people in directions, because it's a lot of us that didn't grow up with a dad and they don't even know where to start, and it makes them freak the fuck out to know I have a fucking kid and I don't know what the fuck to do for him as his father because my fucking daddy wasn't there. So what if I fuck up and I fuck him up like my daddy didn't fuck me up? Or what if I fuck him up trying to be his daddy and then I blame myself, so I'm gonna just stay away. And then that's what ends up fucking them up because you just stayed away. You get what I'm saying? It's like a fucked up ass cycle. So if we just as women, not babysit these men, but just stand our own ground, like, okay, I'm gonna be the best mom. You figure that shit out, nigga. And when you get it right and you get it together, then you come holler at me and you let me know and we gonna do what we gotta do for these babies. But you can't force it. And some motherfucking niggas ain't never gonna get it together. They're never gonna be who they need to be for their children. And I'm sorry to those children. I am a almost 32-year-old woman whose father is still in and out of prison and he'll be 50 this year. Sometimes it never ends. And I'm sorry for that. But as the mother, if my mama would have focused on my daddy being in and out of jail and him not being there and what the fuck he doing, if she would have focused on that and that dictated what type of, like, how she was going to be a mom to me, I would have been fucked up. And I mean, I was a little bit fucked up, but I ain't as fucked up as I could have been. You feel me?
And just because it don't work out don't mean that the other person is a bad parent. Like, just because it doesn't go the way you say it's supposed to go between y'all doesn't mean that they are a bad parent. Sometimes you really do have to put the ego to the side and learn to communicate for the child. Take your feelings out of it, take their feelings out of it, and make it solely about whatever is beneficial for the child. it's even been times where I've told my boyfriend, like, the way you communicated to her mom was fucked up. Like, you ain't have to word what you said like that. And on the other end, a bitch will probably never think that I would be the person saying this to him. But no, as his woman, I feel like I'm supposed to speak up and let him know right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you want the middle grounds that you say you want, the same way you want to be talked to is the same energy you have to project to her. Like, or y'all ain't gonna ever get nowhere. And I think it truly is fucked up when parents can't communicate, because you see that in the child. Like, when they're like, you see the child struggling when the parents don't communicate. The child gets to be whoever they want to be. When I'm with mama, I can do this and I can do that and I can do this, and daddy will never know. When I'm with daddy, I can do this and I can do that, and I can say that this happens or this don't happen, and mama will never know. Like, so if the parents aren't doing that mutual ground, then who's doing it? Are y'all trusting a child to do that? Because we're all grown enough to know how that works. Like, a child can sway anything. They learn from adults.
Hello.
That's what I'm about to say. I learned my parenting style from my mom. I learned it from her.
Especially your mom.
And like it wasn't until like I forgave my parents that actually eased my parenting style too as well, because I always been so raised up and strict, whether it was with my mom or my dad. It was both strict. And one of the things I really wanted to tell both of them is just like, if y'all could have stopped bickering for like 5 seconds, y'all could have caught so much shit that was going on between me and my sister. But y'all was so busy not liking each other because y'all just couldn't communicate, and you didn't like how he was talking to you, and you didn't like how she talked. So of course that's y'all butting heads. I can't even have a conversation. So when I be thinking about when I be going through it with my sons, I always be like, sometimes it's just required. Sometimes you need to shut up, Marissa, and just listen, or you just need, because I'm like, you're used to just being, like T said earlier, I call the shots, this is what, and I'm like, I can't really do that when it comes to parenting. I can't do that.
It's a together thing.
It's gotta be like,
it's a together thing.
And if you put that energy out there, and if you try and it don't work, then that's why I said, as long as I know that I'm doing the best that I can, then I can care less about, because when my children get older, they will see, just like I seen. Now, it took me a long time, but I'm trying to make it, this is a curse I'm breaking within my family. We're not waiting till you 30 in your 30s to figure out. We're going to give you the information now. We're going to give you the tools now, so you can use that to elevate now, so you don't have to be trying to figure out and unlock no doors and ask no question, calling me, asking questions. Mom, how was you and Dad when we was? You ain't got to do that, because you already have the knowledge, you already have the tools to get by this. So I really feel like, as women, because we do hold the keys. People think that, women, we are very powerful. So we can persuade, we bring life into the world. It's not like T said, it's not like it's babysitting, but we got the knowledge. So when you do that, sometimes when that nigga be, that baby daddy acting crazy or whatever the case may be, you just gotta let him act crazy. You don't know no better. And when you finish, that's why I said when I had that talk with him, I said what I had to say, and it fucked him up, because I was not mean, I was not rude, I was not nasty, but this is what we can't do. We can't really be like this, because we still got to communicate. You still got to look at me, I still got to look at you, cheese, hey, we still got to make this work. So for him, as long as he's progressing and he's getting better, opening up and doing and being the kid that we know he can be, that's all that matters. We gotta.
There's nothing wrong with asking, what can I do to maybe help you? Mm-hmm. Like, can I give you some suggestions? Can I come up with a schedule for us? Like, what can we come up with to like make this easier on everybody? There's nothing wrong with, like, people make it like baby mamas and baby daddies gotta hate each other and fight each other, and even when the daddy don't take care of the kid, you still gotta fight and do. And you don't have to do that. You can still wish well. You can still try to help. You can still try to speak life into the situation, because at the end of the day, it's all about your baby. And forgive your parents, because now that you're a parent, you see the dynamics of what parenting is. please forgive your parents, because like Marissa said, that will help you so much in your life. And let me tell you something, no matter how great of a parent you are, there always could be a day that your child comes to you and is going to tell you some shit, and you're going to want their forgiveness, and you're going to want them to tell, be easy on you and understand where you're coming from. So do that for your parents.
Once I realized that, damn, they ain't know no damn better. Because I didn't know no damn better. I had to figure it out too, so they really had to figure it out. And I'm like,
they had a life. They was your mom or your dad, but they was a person too. Okay? Marlon was my dad, but Marlon was a person. And Marlon went through a lot of fucking shit. And I understand maybe why he fell by the wayside a little bit. I'm not saying that it was right. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that it's people that was in his same position that came up and pulled themselves up out their bootstraps and made it work. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I can see how things could have happened, and that is why we just have to show compassion and be open. And the last thing I'm going to say is, women, work on the emotional aspect of being a mother. And men, stop giving them a fucking reason to hate you, because a lot of times you're giving a reason. When you don't answer the phone for your child when they're calling you, you're giving her a reason to hate you. When you don't come and pick them up when you said you were going to pick them up, you're giving her a reason to hate you. When you don't pay that daycare and you know that it's your motherfucking week to pay that daycare, nigga, you're giving her a reason to hate you. When you don't come through on what you say you're going to come through on for your kids, you're giving her a reason to hate you. So stop giving reasons. Do what the fuck you supposed to do, so the bitch ain't got no reason. And if she do keep nagging it because of that, look, you clearly know it ain't you, it's her. There we go.
and everybody learn to accept constructive criticism, because baby daddies ain't the only ones to be fucked up. Sometimes baby mamas be fucked up behind the kids too, not always doing the right thing. So if somebody trying to meet you in the middle or telling you, hey, this is what's lacking, woman to woman, learn to listen to that man and accept constructive criticism. Like, just because somebody's telling you that it's not done to full efficiency don't mean they saying you're doing it wrong. They just saying it could be done better. So,
or this way may be a better way for this child.
I'm gonna say one more thing, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you, and I'm out. My goddaughter's mama has been through an up and down journey with my goddaughter's father. This year was the first year of my goddaughter's life that she said, you know what, Nay? No matter what me and him go through on a personal level, no matter what bitch he fucking with, no matter this, no matter that, I'm really going to stop keeping her from him. Because I'm realizing how it's just impacting her. And some of the times in the past before, I said I wasn't keeping her from him behind my feelings, but I really was. And it ain't because I want him. I was just mad at the shit he was doing.
The accountability for me.
That's when she said that.
That's so much power.
When she said that to me, it really set in, because I knew she was over him. I knew she didn't care about the females. And I understood her when she even said, Nay, it's not about the females. It's about the different females. You can't take her around this female, that female, this female every 6 months. I got that. But when she finally said, sometimes I just be hurt. That was like a damn, you always stuck it it's just an argument, but no, you really be hurt. So go ahead and take that on the chin, because you know you be hurt, and stick to your word, because we see how it impact her. That was just like a powerful moment, because I see that on both spectrums.
Shout out to sis, man.
I see that on both spectrums.
That's what's up. I love to hear that. It's never too late to change your perspective.
Oh, it's not. Am I gonna end this off? No, I don't really have anything really, no advice or anything. My only thing that I will say is that, with, the baby daddy and the baby mama and that whole dynamic, really giving yourself the grace, because we blame, as mothers, we do blame ourselves for a lot of things that our children go through. And as my boys get older, it's certain things that I automatically look and see in them. I'm like, damn. If I didn't do this, you wouldn't have this. But what the wonderful thing is, I'm going to give you the tools so you're going to break this. I didn't break it, but as long as we see it, so we can change the narrative. And one of the things I say that that's really strengthened that is just, you know, like I said, forgiving my parents and then forgiving myself, and then also being forgiving to my children as well, just being, and like also telling them that, because that's one thing that to this day, 33, my parents have not told me that they're sorry. I tell anytime that I'm out of line when it comes to my kids, I'll come full circle. Let me talk to you, friend. I want to apologize to you, and this is why I'm going to apologize to you, because I didn't mean to do this, and the reason why I did this. So now that I'm giving them something that I ain't never had, and that's my biggest thing, regardless of, you know, how my children's father are. Long as I give them these gems that I got, that I didn't figure out till way down the line, long as they get these, it'll help them better navigate when they become adults. And then they start looking at me and they like, Ma, you did the best that you had to do what you had to do. And they look at their dads and they be like, you did what you thought was best, and like, do not fault you. It makes it so much, just, you know, it makes you understand it a little bit better. So just forgive your parents. That would be, please forgive your parents.
That's
and
so important.
That especially when you do have children and you start to see those same things in your kids, you know it got it from me, but where did I get it from? You ask questions. I don't ever want Elijah or Corbin to ever grow up and be, you know, trying to figure out nothing. I want them to have everything. Like, this is, you've seen it, because this is the blueprint. You've seen me go through it. You've seen me master this. So take what I've learned and use that for you, so you don't have to have it as hard as I did. You still gonna have it. You're still gonna have it, but you're gonna know how to get through this way better than I did. And the dynamic of me being the mother and having sons, I be trying to tell them, you know, I don't want you to grow up and think that it's okay for, you know, things like this to happen to women and things like that, because some things are not okay. It's not okay. And it's not okay for you to go through those things as a man either. It's not okay. So it's just really kind of finding that balance. And it's hard, but like T said, asking for help. That goes a long way. Like, the year 22 and starting 23, like, that was really like me. Oh, I need some help with my children. Like, I need some help. Like, some things I cannot figure out. And coming to, you know, my tribe, like the people that I trust the most, and just being honest, just like getting like the resources and help. My kids have, you know, outlets in their lives that I did not have. So just providing that, I just know that it's just, you know, it's beneficial. So stop hating on your baby daddy and just, you know, give him some grace. Let that nigga
live his life.
You know.
Let him go to the party. Let him club. Let him do whatever. And then when he call you to get his baby, let him do that too, sis. Okay?
Yep. And leave these girlfriends alone. It's like I'm just playing.
Yeah, leave the girlfriends alone, because you got to understand that you was a girlfriend too. Or you was in that position too, so you might not see all the aspects. You might not see everything, and that helped me with, you know, with Corbin's dad's current girlfriend now. It helped me because I'm like, she was doing things, and I'm like, she's only doing those things because of the perception that you're giving her.
She's getting his side.
Getting that one side. She don't know the other side, because if she know, I don't want that motherfucker. If she knew that, like, she probably wouldn't be on me like this. Like, she probably like, oh, okay. But, and it's like, and
even that has evolved.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Even now, I'm about to say, she, you know what I'm saying, we don't have, you know, conversation or anything like that. But, I mean, there's been plenty of times that, you know, they come pick up Corbin. There's been plenty of times that I know for a fact that she's had Corbin in her care. And I'm okay with that. Corbin don't come back. He don't come back. He just as happy as he was when he left up out of here. He don't really say anything. The one time that I think that maybe he did say something, he used that. I feel like he used that to kind of mask how he really was feeling, because he knew that would get me to pay attention. So he was saying those things, which opened up to, you know, he wasn't really feeling uncomfortable. He just wanted to, you know, spend more time with his dad, and he didn't really know how to really tell that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he want to, you know, go on, he might not want to go on this date.